Good evening and thanks for joining us. We hope you're enjoying our coverage of the Clark tournament. I'm Olivia Lemmon. Another winter storm is on our doorstep and it's expected to bring more snow, sleet, and rain to the area. The storm is expected to arrive later tonight. Worcester has already put a parking ban into effect as of 6 p.m. this evening. Meteorologist Tim Kelly is tracking the storm and has more on when it will arrive.
This system is massive. Heavy snow, heavy rain, freezing rain, but it's breaking in two. Part of it misses us to the west and another part mostly misses to the south. You can see that kind of happening now. In Maryland, we had 3 inches of snow in 3 hours earlier. Now we have snow coming down, but temperatures are marginal up in the sky. Down near the ground, we're in the 20s. So snow doesn't come in like a wall, but by about 9 or 10 o'clock, it is accumulating. Probably a quarter to a half inch an hour for 2 to 3 hours, so probably 1 to 2, 3 inches. By 1 a.m., snow is changing over to sleet and then some freezing rain. Temperatures still in the 20s. 6 a.m., it is going to be nasty on the roads, especially side roads and sidewalks. Even though it's not that thick, it's not that deep. It's a very dense snow. By midday, though, the temperature's 40 degrees or better. The sun comes out tomorrow afternoon, turns into a nice afternoon, and we're doing some melting. So for accumulations, there it is, maybe 2 inches or so, but sleet and freezing rain on top, making it a tough shovel.
All right, thank you, Tim. February vacation destinations in Worcester are taking extra precautions to prevent illnesses like the flu. The Ecotarium says thousands of students will pass through this week, and they want to make sure the surfaces they touch are clean. Our Roslyn Flaherty joins us now with more. Roslyn?
Olivia, the Ecotarium is a very hands-on place, and as the flu season continues, they're doing what they can to keep kids healthy. More than 8,000 children will pass through the Ecotarium during February school vacation week, and the museum is making sure they stay healthy.
We want kids to be immersed and to be able to touch and feel the exhibits and interact with some of the technology.
According to the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, the flu is widespread across the state. This week, a young girl from Middlesex County died of the flu. She was the third pediatric death in the state this season. The Ecotarium says they have extra staff to wipe down the exhibits.
Making sure that everything's in perfect condition and reset and basically the way it needs to be for the kids to enjoy themselves.
Their efforts are putting parents' minds at ease.
When you come to a museum or an exhibit like this, you want your kids to interact, and trying to keep them from touching things kind of defeats the purpose of the exploratory aspect.
We can only watch the children so much. I mean, they're running around, they're having a great time.
The museum says they prepare for this week for months, incorporating new topics like engineering, and want everyone to enjoy it.
There's lots of space here and options for being physically active and kind of getting the wiggles out.
The Department of Public Health says it's still not too late to get your flu shot. Other protection tips include washing your hands with warm water and soap and covering your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing. Roslyn Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
And a third child has now died from the flu. The Department of Public Health says the little girl was from Middlesex County. This flu season also responsible for the deaths of a 12-year-old boy from Milford and another girl from Framingham. Public health officials say January and February are typically the height of flu season, but flu activity usually continues into March, and it's not too late to get a flu shot. This year's vaccine, they say, appears to be effective and is still available. Health officials say more than 7,000 people in the Bay State have been diagnosed with the flu this season. Today marks 16 years since the deadly station Nightclub fire in Rhode Island. 100 people were killed, 200 others injured in the blaze that broke out on the night of February 20th, 2003 in West Warwick. You're looking at video of the permanent memorial for the victims, which was dedicated in 2017. There is no formal memorial service planned this year. Investigators said the lack of a sprinkler system and foam used as soundproofing played a role. The fire led to major changes in nightclub safety across the nation. New research shows female executives across central Massachusetts make substantially less than their male counterparts, nearly half of what men make. And there is also a call for more women to have higher positions. Our Brittany Schaefer has the story.
In central Massachusetts, women occupy far less leadership roles than men. According to new research by the Worcester Business Journal, only 16% of CEOs in the area are women.
In Massachusetts, if you look at the top 100 publicly traded companies, only 4% are female. But when you shift to nonprofit, there's a higher percentage, in the 20s, both in Massachusetts and nationally. So when you average those out, the 16% here is about on par.
Jean Beaupre is a faculty advisor for the Nichols College Institute for Women's Leadership. She says putting women in superior positions can do much more for a business than just gender equality.
Getting more women onto board seats and into the C-suite and CEO level, we find the more women that are at the table and participating in a leadership role, the outcomes are better, both financially and in terms of innovation.
Executive Director of the Central Massachusetts YWCA says bringing different perspectives to a company is important.
There needs to be a more diverse leadership power structure in the city and in the area to really solve the problems we have as a community. The population is more women than men by slight, so why should it be 12% in the top spots? I would say that that's not surprising, but I think as a community it should be shocking to most people.
Liz Hamilton is the first female executive director of the Worcester Boys and Girls Club in 128 years. She says it's an honor and women need more opportunities like hers.
When I think you look at what makes a good leader, a lot of the women I see are the epitome of that. And I think all we need is that opportunity. We have the talent. We're willing to take risk. We're willing to make a difference.
And the Worcester Business Journal's research also found women in those leadership roles in central Massachusetts on average make $200,000 less than men in similar roles. In the studio, Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
The first of its kind, a startup bus company is offering nonstop bus service from Worcester to the Big Apple. Our Bus says they saw a need for the route and are hoping it will make traveling easier for residents. Our Chandler Walsh joins us now with the details. Chandler?
Olivia, Our Bus doesn't own any buses or employ drivers. Instead, they schedule everything through charter companies and their networks. Their Worcester service runs once a day, but they're looking to add more. A new bus service adds more ways to get to New York City from Worcester. Our Bus is the first to offer direct trips between the two cities.
Basically, our research found that Worcester was the largest city or metro area that didn't have a direct connection to New York. Other buses require interchange buses in Springfield, and I think so does the train. So it was a low-hanging fruit.
Sarah Cohen will be going to college in Worcester in the fall. She was taking a non-direct bus to New York Wednesday and says it's the best way for her to travel back and forth.
I'm not really far enough away to warrant a flight, so bus it is. It's either bus or car.
Tech startup Our Bus runs once a day, leaving Worcester at noon on weekdays. They work with charter bus firms instead of regular routes. Tickets run between $15 and $25 each way.
Because of our business model, we work with high-end charter bus companies. So they have relatively new vehicles, the latest amenities on board, professional drivers, and they keep them perfectly clean.
Direct JetBlue flights between the Worcester Regional Airport and JFK begin in May. Massport Chairman Lou Evangelitis doesn't expect the new buses will impact demand for flights.
I see really is very different type of services. I mean, if you're flying to New York, number one, the flights are at 6 a.m., so it gives you the opportunity to get into the city quickly for business or pleasure or whatever you need, and the flights come back very late in the day.
Evangelitis says any new transportation service for the area is a good thing and expects the airport to continue increasing passengers.
As a matter of fact, I expect we'll have more growth. At the same time, it's good for us to have another option to get to New York City.
Our Bus's co-founder says this could be the first time there's direct service because other companies didn't see an opportunity before. He says the fact it's being done now could show Worcester's growth. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
A Worcester police sergeant is found not responsible by a jury after he was accused of using excessive force during a drug raid in 2014. According to Worcester Police, attorney Hector Pinero had filed the lawsuit in federal court on behalf of Jose Ortiz, who accused Worcester Police Sergeant Stephen Roach. City Manager Edward Augustus says the decision by the jury confirms our belief the Worcester Police Department is a professional, well-trained department. I have confidence in our officers' ability to exercise restraint even when involved in tense, dangerous situations. A familiar face in Worcester's political scene announces he is running for city councilor at large. Former City 1 councilor Tony Economou announced on his radio show this morning he would be running for an at-large position. Economou served as the District 1 councilor for 6 years and says he misses being on the council.
Continue where I left off when I was on the council. I want to continue to work with our business community. We've done such a great job downtown. How do we harness that power and that energy into the small businesses around the city, and bring them up into our corridors?
And Economou is a lifelong Worcester resident and says he decided not to run for a fourth term in 2017 because he wanted to spend more time with his 2 sons who are now in college. Worcester is ranked second when it comes to the top donut cities in the country. According to bestplaces.net, New England dominated the study with the top 7 cities being located in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, or Connecticut. The study was limited to the top 100 metro areas in terms of population and then ranked in order of number of donut shops per capita. Well, that'll do it for us for now. Stay tuned for tonight's coverage of the Clark Tournament. I'm Olivia Lemmon. Thank you for watching and have a great night.